Welcome to Tales from SYL Ranch Live, where everyone is entitled to my opinion, and I'm Bill Stone. Well, tonight on Tales from SYL Ranch, we have another live Bat Stream watch party and reaction for Batwoman, the show that is the modern-day Plan 9 from outer space. It is a series being written, directed, and produced by people who are doing their level damned best. The problem is that they are incompetent, so their level damned best is really, really bad. Like Plan 9 from outer space, Batwoman has become so bad that it's good. The problem with being so bad that it's good from a reviewer's perspective is that it makes reviewing this stupid show painful. I usually go into a lot of depth in my reviews, and it takes a couple of hours to research any given thing that I'm reviewing, and, I just can't see the point of doing that on an ongoing basis for something so stupid. So I am now live bat streaming watch parties, where I generally have enjoyed myself. I think my viewers have enjoyed it as well. And as this is a live bat stream watch party, I'll be talking about the stupid as we go along, and viewers are certainly encouraged to throw out their own comments, which I will share as we go along. Now, I got a few minutes before the show starts, before the Batwoman actually assaults us on television. So to explain my show for the benefit of new viewers, Tales from SYL Ranch is a science fiction, fantasy, horror, superhero, and other genre-related review show. And commentary, really. Sometimes I review serious films and TV, sometimes I review schlock, and sometimes I review modern films with a broad appeal, such as Star Wars movies, Marvel movies, The Orville, Doctor Who, and lately, of course, Batwoman, the Plan 9 from outer space. I do no longer review or even watch Star Trek except for fan films. This is because Star Trek is no longer Star Trek. And I've talked about this at length in my video of the same name, and you can find a link to that in my description box. Most of my reviews are pre-recorded, but for special occasions, such as these Batwoman things, I will do a live stream. During them, I will take any and all questions, comments, and nasty remarks. I'll respond to as many of my viewers as possible. You can tell me if I missed something, if I'm completely full of crap, or if I'm just an amazingly hoopy frood. Generally, however, in my reviews, I go into a lot more depth than other reviewers. I don't just say if I like a film or TV show or not. I go into the acting, the direction, the cinematography, and all the mechanics of making a film. And I can do this because a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I was once an actor, so I can speak with a little authority. Not as much authority as a modern working actor, I never want to give that impression, but with some authority. There is an old saying, those who can do, and those who can't teach. And I guess, generally speaking, my reviews are a little about teaching. I don't do, however, outrage videos. There are a lot of people on YouTube in the fanish world who are simply actors portraying outrage because they found out after The Last Jedi that outrage sells. They hate everything with a knee-jerk reflex because their viewers want to see them hate things. But this sets up a weird feedback loop between fans and popular reviewers where it goes back and forth, hating and hating and hating, and eventually nobody can like anything even if it's any good. But I don't do that. If I like something, I will say why in detail. If I dislike it, I'll say why in detail. But I don't do outrage. Unlike other reviewers, I am the adult in this room. So we'll have to take it as read. If you have come to this video looking for a watch party and reaction for Batwoman, Season 1, Episode 17, the name of which escapes me, A Narrow Escape, you don't care as it's spoiled as we go along. But nevertheless, just because I've made the card and I think it's kind of fun, we should probably give ourselves a...
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. All hands, prepare for incoming spoilers.
Yes, it is a spoiler alert, and that is because I am a Fandi master, and that means that the fandom is strong with me. But this isn't a boast nor a brag. This is just where you find yourself after having watched, read, and listened to over 100 years worth of science fiction. The problem is that Fandi masters are cursed. We simply can't see all this new stuff for the century that came before. We find out that there isn't that much that's original, and it sometimes interferes with our ability to enjoy things. But you don't have to be a Fandi master to know that Batwoman is nothing more than stupid SJW wokeness on steroids. You might as well laugh at it because that's what these bat streams are for. Okay, so it looks like we got about 10 minutes until the show starts. Oh, yeah. Let me move around a couple of windows here so that I can get the screen for what I'm watching more or less underneath the camera or thereabouts. So at least it looks like I'm sort of looking at you while I'm watching this stupid show. It's not going to look exactly like it. I have, as I suggested you do, kicked up the brightness on my big 42-inch monitor in front of me. About 20%, because that'll give you some statistical likelihood of being actually able to follow this stupid show. The show is shot really, really dark, and it's sometimes, if you're watching it without the brightness kicked up, it's kind of hard to follow, at least on my monitors. I have to really kick the brightness up, or I just can't see it. Just one of the many, many things that makes this show really so bad it's good. They'll have all these fight scenes that are generally very accommodating stuntmen who are fighting against this 92-pound girl. And you won't be able to see the things. They'll just be so dark you can't see them. Or the bad guy will be doing something bad and it's so dark you can't see them. Now, in terms of where we left this off several weeks ago, before, for some reason that nobody has ever said, Batwoman went into a several-week hiatus. For the first time on this stupid show, Batwoman had done the right thing and gotten her main nemesis, Alice, her long-lost sister, Beth, finally chucked into Arkham Asylum. It's, of course, anybody's guess as to how long it will be before she gets out. My guess is maybe 2 episodes, something like that, possibly. And then it will remain to be seen if Batwoman actually catches the stupid woman, or continues to be one of her major accomplices by knowing about all the horrible things that she's done or is planning to do and doesn't do a damn thing to stop it. So we shall see. As I say, last episode, towards the end, I was literally shocked that they finally had her doing the right thing, but we'll see how it goes. Interesting thing, of course, is both Beth and Mouse, they know Batwoman's secret identity. This is certainly something you could use. You could spill the beans in Arkham Asylum. I don't know if they will. Of course, they're both insane, so, maybe they wouldn't take it seriously. Got me. And Batwoman supposedly has an ally because she had some woman that she's sucking face with again with last week. Pretend to be her. Itching my nose. In an extraordinary bit of stupid. Hey, hello, Larry. How you doing tonight? In an extraordinarily bit of stupid in that particular episode where they were together, one girl, this other woman she's sucking face with, and Kate Kane together in the same place so that, she could be seen. In an extraordinary bit of stupid, that was an episode where the woman who was dressed up like Batwoman was punched through a brick wall and went down, fell about 2.5, 3 stories, something like that, to the ground, and should have been killed. They just don't understand things like, science. When you smash people through a brick wall, that usually will kill them. It's one of the problems I had even with Superman v. Batman v. Superman. They have Superman towards the beginning of that punching a guy, smashing him through a brick wall, and guess what? That'll usually kill people. Smashing them through a brick wall. That'll usually just turn them into pulp. Larry says, sad we can't watch a good Star Trek series live. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I've been doing a lot of watching of original series, Next Generation, Voyager and Enterprise. Heavy on Voyager and Enterprise. Those 2 shows, like a lot of fans, it sort of lost us towards the tail end of Voyager and a good chunk of Enterprise. Because they'd gone into doing something that was really formulaic, and I'm glad that so far anyway the Orville has not done, which is they fell into a very formulaic kind of A-B plot structure, where they'd have an A plot that was all about something that was technobabble happening to the ship that would inevitably be resolved via technobabble 5 minutes before the end. And then they'd have a B plot that was about some kind of, character development, except these 2 plots were not in any way related to each other. It got real formulaic after a while, and it's not a good way to do your drama. What you should be doing is, if you've got an A plot that's about something that's horrible, that's threatening the ship, and you got a B plot about character development, you should have it where the character development intertwines somehow with the thing going on with the ship, so that when the technobabble is done at the end, the character finds something out about themselves. We have character development as a result of attempting to fix whatever is going on with the ship. Larry says, found your original Star Trek DVDs in the red, blue, and yellow and plastic cases. Well, that's cool. I've been watching it a lot on Hulu. I have a subscription to Hulu. It is the only source that I have a subscription for. If you want to see some of the things that I do, my last video was an informational, educational video about modern piracy. But I do have a single subscription to Hulu because I want to support the Orville. I want to support the Orville, and so I have a subscription to Hulu. It's the only thing I have a subscription to. It's probably the only thing I ever will have a subscription to. But they do have all of the Star Trek series, except for the crap being put out by CBS All Access on there, so I'm able to watch it there. And it's the Star Trek Remastered, which I don't mind, by the way. I think that's okay. I think what they did for special effects there was reasonable. Well, looks like we got us about 3 minutes or 2.5 or something like that, waiting for American Ninja Warriors to finish. Oh, man, I can't say I missed this show either. I get a kick out of this to some extent, because, again, I've got this eye for the theatricality about it, and there is so much, they've got like this one very small area of bleachers where they've got this crowd seated. It's actually a very small area, and they never show you a very wide shot of it. And when you see it in the background, like they're from time to time seeing it here, you realize it's actually very small. I could count. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was about 10 rows, and it was not very wide. And they've just kind of got everybody shoved in there. Didn't even look like the upper ones were very filled. So that means they've got everybody shoved in there. And when they show it, it's just not. Yeah, there it is. It was about maybe 10. It was about 50 people wide. But again, it's not a huge crowd. It's not like what you'd see at your average, high school football game. Even went to lots of those because my kids were both in band at various points. Larry says, I like having the original untouched Trek. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't mind what they did with the special effects. I thought those were okay. Well, got a couple of minutes coming up on it here. I'll kick my volume up. Hopefully it won't be loud enough that anybody will catch it and get me copyright problems. I don't know how live streams work like that. I might be able to actually input it into my capture software, because it allows me to do that. I can take a video audio input and actually stream it out, but I don't know for sure how it works like that. They caught me the one time that I did it with a actual straight up reaction that sucked, and I had to delete it because they blocked it worldwide anyway. I'll take it back. That one was an outright copyright strike. I could get it off my record by going through, what was it, copyright or rights or something class that they have on YouTube that they test you at on the end. And if you've got Brain 1, and I've never understood why, with Brain 1 you could just look up the answers rather than actually dealing with the test in any way. So it's kind of dumb. Oh, Netflix is going to offer watch parties soon. Well, I'd almost like to get a subscription just so that I could go with like Picard and Discovery and see how many people say bad things about it during the watch parties. That would be funny. I don't know. I make marketing memes a lot, and I've got two marketing memes with Matt Decker from the original series episode. God, I've forgotten now. But the one he's in. And when he's flying in the shuttlecraft headed into the Doomsday Machine to sacrifice himself, he's kind of chewing the scenery a lot. And there's, pictures. I've got a picture of him going like this when he's, and I have the caption underneath watching Star Trek Discovery, and another one like where he's like this. And I've got another caption on that one that's just watching Star Trek Picard. So those have gotten a lot of play in the last 24 hours. I guess that's pretty good. I'm going to have to do some more of those where I get crazy expressions. Maybe one or two with Shatner when he's hamming it up. But those sort of work. That sort of works. And as I say, I've kind of gotten a lot of play with those. Okay, well, oops. Stop that. We're hitting 7 p.m. Working on some, there we go, a Supergirl spot. So we're getting into the national spots. And now the CW station ID for KCWH in Lincoln, Nebraska. And the national station ID for the network. And what the hell is going on now? I'm going to have to turn up my volume so I can hear it. Wait, what?
How did you beat him already? I learned the secret sucker punch combo. Secret sucker punch combo.
Okay, this must be a dream sequence or something, because they've got Alice and Kate in the same shot. Alice is supposed to be in Arkham by now, and they're doing something, playing video games. This has got to be a dream sequence or something.
Might take someone's head off. She's giving me pointers on how to be evil.
What?
Nice building.
Marshall, hi. I'm on a big screen in the kitchen. Oh, hi, Marshall. I did not do it. I did not. Oh, hi, Marsh.
What? Us. Bickering, drinking.
What?
Video games.
What is going on?
Sisters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's happening. Give me that. You suck.
It's got to be a dream sequence. What the hell is happening here? Doesn't make any damn sense.
This will probably be overly sentimental, but thank you for never giving up on me.
Yeah, it's got to be a dream sequence. They left her in Arkham. This has got to be a dream. It's just got to be. Here we go. The whole scene's gonna fall apart, and it's gonna be a dream sequence. Okay.
It was nice while it lasted.
My audio and video is off on this one. I'm gonna have to reload it at the first commercial. Oh, okay. It's Alice's dream sequence. Got it. Okay. Oh, they're giving her electroshock therapy. Here's a nifty little thing. My parents were psychologists. They don't use electroshock therapy anymore. I mean, maybe a little bit in some very extreme cases with certain types of personality disorders, but almost never. So when they show them on like this using electroshock therapy, that's just stupid. They would medicate the crap out of her. That's what they would do. Oh wow! I've got the brightness kicked up by 25%. I can actually see what's happening on the screen here. Wait, Batwoman's letting bad guys go? What, is he gay? Well, no, that's a get out of jail free card if you're gay. Good stuntman rolled right down the stairs for her. Let me guess, is this a dream sequence for her? No, it isn't. Because she's thinking about how she killed a guy. The lighting's different, though. It's kind of purplish. Maybe it's a dream sequence. Larry says, my local CW station went off the air weeks ago. Well, they've renewed all of Arrow, the Arrowverse. Wait a minute, did she manage to kill this guy? Did they figure out something about the laws of physics, where if you throw somebody down the stairs and they hit a concrete wall at the end, they're likely to have like a broken neck or something? And here she is again, taking off her mask where people could easily see or find her. Larry says, nobody watched CW here. Why am I not surprised?
I'm fine.
1 week later. So wait, yeah, I guess Batwoman did manage to kill somebody. Awesome. All right. At least we get to see the GCPD instead of the crows. Oh, okay. He's got a bomb strapped to him. We must have a bomber in this particular episode. Larry says we have taste. Yeah. Play me? Is that what that said?
Officer Wilcox, you have a bomb strapped to your chest. Don't worry. It's easy to disarm. Simply push the yellow button, which will trigger a second bomb I've planted somewhere else in Gotham. What? That's right. You disarm your bomb to save yourself, allowing countless others to die. Or you die and save all those people
Okay.
you never met who will never know.
It's a Joker situation. Kill yourself or kill somebody else. Okay.
The choice should be easy.
Let's see if we have a brave police officer here or not.
Would you?
Nope. We got a coward. He pushed the button. Bomb went off somewhere else. Looks like it's going to do a 9/11 on a building. Yep, did. Oh. Rachel Maddow.
Gotta admit, he made his point in Dynamite when a GCPD officer blew up a bank last night to save his own tail, without even letting the timer drop into the single digits.
Wow. They've got a lot of homeless people in Gotham. Apparently they don't know. Homeless people don't hang out in Chicago very much because it's too freaking cold in the wintertime. They go to Los Angeles. Wait, what? Wait. What? There's somebody else?
Mate, so insider tip, my scissors should not be able to cut through your super suit. Why are you pretending to be Batwoman?
Because the real one is MIA and the city still has PTSD from when Batman left. Huh? Maybe if people saw me and believed that she was still around, they
People still have PTSD from when Batman left?
in the right place. Your ribs, however, are
I think you guys misunderstand what PTSD is.
trust me. I'm the last person Batwoman would ever confide in.
And now they're, where are you, Batwoman? Because she's done so much for this freaking city. She's just been nothing but completely selfish.
Yeah, and I could have been anyone.
I remember this vile concoction. I don't call it a chimney sweep for nothing. Cheers.
So I guess they're shacking up. They were sucking face at the end of the last episode. I guess these two are shacking up now.
You haven't returned my texts. And while I'm decidedly not that girl, do we need to talk about what happened the other night?
Let's not turn this into a thing.
But
For
Being there for you? No complaints from me, love. Gotham, on the other hand, feels right ghosted by their caped crusader.
why does Gotham feel ghosted by a woman who has never done anything useful for them? I'm unclear what even happens when she answers the bat signal. They've never shown that. Not once.
I crossed the line when I killed Cartwright. What if I screw up and kill someone else?
Oh, so what, that guy with... I guess he didn't die when he fell down the stairs and slammed his head into a concrete wall. Okay.
And took a man's life. Bruce would be blustery with disappointment. And now you need to get over it.
I think Batman would be a little more than blustery because she killed somebody.
Elsewhere. And so are you. Someone bombed Gotham International Bank last night. Killed a dozen people. Vacation's over, Batwoman.
Yeah, and they said Rachel Maddow was saying this guy, this bomber they've got floating around Gotham and returned after 7 years, so this isn't somebody new. I guess the last time, from that time frame, it would have been Batman who saved the day.
He claimed it was for my own good to
to avoid ridicule, but turns out it's for his own good.
Group therapy for a murderous psychopath.
At the moment, I realized I didn't care if he was comfortable or not.
I don't know if they do that or
I
not.
became myself.
I can tell you that the funniest... I mean, I don't know if it's worth listening to this crap or not.
I'm unburdening myself.
Unburdening yourself? We are trapped in yet another cage this way.
Larry says they're literally pushing back comic books on TV by decades. Yeah, I used to like the Arrowverse early on. Lately, not so much. Yeah, here's what you don't do when you're in a group like this. Whisper amongst yourselves. There, at least he's pointing it out.
Oh, I've got something to share. Excuse me. Bruce Wayne can speak over 40 languages. 4 0. Mr. Elliott, this group started 15 minutes ago.
Who is this guy?
Oh, that's right. You can't because my state's been frozen. Mr. Elliott, I am thrilled.
Elliott. I don't know who.
Spreading your disdain for Mr. Wayne into a deeper appreciation.
Turn on the closed captioning. That's not even a bad idea.
What's wrong, Doc? It's like too crazy? Because that one thinks she's a cat. That one thinks she's a minor bird.
Magpie. The name is Magpie.
Oh, yeah, Magpie. I remember her.
This one drove so much, the orderlies have to follow him around with a mop. And you know, what about me? What about me? I'm the guy that taught Bruce Wayne everything he knows. So where's my recognition?
Oh, right. This is that guy who was the rich dude. Got it. Okay, yeah. And now group is descending into chaos. This does not happen. My parents were psychologists. This does not happen.
Reggie Harris was wrongly incarcerated for years. And gunned down the same day he was free.
Up, back to the subplot about Luke's murder of Luke's father's murderer here. And here we have the bomber. Love the virtue bat signal and the towel. Well, I always have the towel, and somewhere I have a jackalope. Ah, good. I have to reload my browser. The sound is off. There's a gap on the sound being correctly synced. So.
That's why AT&T is building its 5G on America's best network.
First of many, many commercials that reduce this show to 40 minutes or less. I can't see whether they're... Anyhow, good idea turning on the closed captioning. That was a great idea. I'll be able to both see the action and maybe get some idea of what the dialogue is without actually having to listen to the dialogue. So... Oh, as always, I am totally unprepared for all the commercial breaks because I am so used to having no commercial breaks the way that I tend to watch my stuff. Lately, it's either on Hulu, which, again, I mentioned that I have an actual account for. I keep an account with Hulu because they have now the Orville. I want to support the Orville. I don't have any other streaming service accounts, although Larry was saying they're about to do watch parties for stuff on CBS All Access. I don't think I'd get one for that, but I would be amused. I'll be interested to see what people say after there, because I'm sure there are people who watch that. I'm curious to see if they have watch parties for the Star Trek properties, how much is positive versus how much is negative, or if they're so afraid that it would be negative that they they won't show it. That would be good. Oh, man. Yes, I've forgotten what building that the towel is resting on here. Closed captioning is good for songs to see the lyrics. Yeah, these days, well, not so much these days. It's been the case for some time. Certain types of music, you don't know what the lyrics are. One of my favorite musical artists, Weird Al Yankovic, did a parody of "It Smells Like Teen Spirit" from, and he called it "Smells Like Nirvana." and he's got lyrics where, you know, they're like, it sounds like I'm gargling with marbles in my mouth, which is pretty funny. You can actually understand his lyrics. I'm not so much sure about Kurt Cobain's in that song. It's not really something. I was never into Kurt Cobain, so I don't really know. More into his ex-paramour, who seems to be a complete nut job. So let me check in case I need to reload and make sure that. Yep, the lips are syncing to the audio. I am just never prepared for this many commercials. I counted them out once. There's like 12 commercials per commercial break. That may be during the national commercial breaks, as opposed to just, the national and local ones rather than just the. Okay, I think we're back. Yes. Good to know, though, that we have those really brave cops in Gotham City who will happily blow up an entire building rather than let just themselves die. They're asking, how's the virus in my area? Let me put a pin in that, because it's actually very good. Let me put a pin in that till the end of the episode so that I can keep talking about this junk.
Well, I'll look into his finances, see if anyone's paying him to kill 4 people in one day money.
Okay. So now we got Sophie and the British chick whose name I don't remember.
Figure out who sent it. Which bank? Gotham International. You're kidding. What? Gotham International Bank is a pile of rubble, along with its vault, its servers, backup servers. Yeah, some bloke cleverly named the Detonator bombed it last night.
Wow, their backup servers are in trouble. That's really bad disaster recovery. I have to tell you, as someone who was in IT for 40 years, you usually make sure that your disaster recovery includes servers and IT stuff that are off-site, just in case, especially around here, where we have, tornadoes and stuff, in places along the Missouri River where you can have floods. You make sure that your off-site stuff, your big backups are off-site for disaster recovery. Oh, but now we get to see how Luke is actually all ripped and not just a complete geek. Cool. You're just here for the cake, Marshall says. Maybe he's on underground. Maybe I killed him. What's the bat light?
What do we know about the detonator?
7 years ago, the detonator crippled Gotham with fear and uncertainty. He's a terrorist.
Okay, the detonator was 7 years ago. Bruce left and Batman left about 3 years ago, so this would have been somebody that Batman should have cleaned up. I see. If the bat's away, the crazies will play. So what, for 3 years? Bruce Wayne being gone? Yep, Larry says offsite, generator, etc. Yeah. There are whole companies that specialize in doing offsite backup. I've worked with them. They have data centers that are filled with stuff that if you show up, one of them I know about, we used to mirror real time almost a big mainframe that we had. They had a mainframe there. We were mirroring it back and forth just in case.
This information was never released to the public.
Will there be cake? Well, conceivably, virtually, not real cake.
Although we still don't know what 214 actually means.
Anyone on that suspect list with military experience?
Yeah, a couple.
Who's George Adler?
Private black ops contractor who was fired for... Yeah, that'll do it.
He was caught taking selfies with enemy corpses. Adler, he's honorably discharged.
Taking selfies with enemy corpses. Okay.
Surely that wasn't enough to implicate him in Bruce tonight.
Bruce didn't go to military school. He wouldn't know the specific form number on discharge papers. DD 214. I only know because Point Rock put the same code on my papers.
So, the military deemed you not good enough, and now that very thing is going to save your city's ass. I'm just going to leave a little piece of irony right there.
I'll go talk to Adler.
Welcome back, Batwoman.
A little piece of irony, okay. Cake made with Splenda, yeah. Well, sorry, Marshall. I don't really have any cake around here. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. This is their version of PTSD for her. Not understanding how PTSD works, of course. I used to teach former Vietnam. I mean, not Vietnam. Iraq War vets. That's not really how PTSD works. The writers are degenerates. The writers are just stupid. They're just fantastically stupid. Here we are back in Arkham. And Tommy had a shiv in his leg, so she's going to attack him and get the shiv. Let me guess. That's what's about to happen. This Tommy guy, I didn't see that he was nuts. Do they just send everybody to Arkham here? Is that... Yeah. Wait, no, she stabbed him with the shiv. What the frack? Why would she do that? Just to kill him, I guess, for fun. I would have thought stealing the shiv would have made a little more sense.
I'm in the process of buying this building, and I have to photograph each of the units.
Yeah, you got paperwork or something?
My assistant will email you.
Wow, that was an interesting delivery. My assistant email you. Just because she always talks with her mouth closed. My assistant email you. Couldn't understand that if it hadn't been for them.
How the hell would I know?
Subtitles.
Where'd you plant the next bomb? Who the hell are you? Someone with an interest in Gotham's property values. Let's just say your obsession.
Marsha says, oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were supposed to come up with Chad that's more interesting than Batwoman. My bad. Yeah. Well, I do have to kind of be watching it. Like now, here she is punching and accommodating a bigger guy with her tiny, spindly little 97-pound arms.
Look, I don't expect a billionaire developer to understand how taking a man's slave screws with your head.
Try me. See, she's always delivering lines with her mouth closed. If I didn't know from reading the subtitles, wouldn't have known she said, try me. You know,
Like a hero when you're in the heat of it, staring down your own death.
Where is he now?
Gotham Cemetery.
see, there's another one. I wouldn't have known he said what. Okay, here's a tip, Ruby. You need to drop your jaw and enunciate. That is one of the first things I learned in junior high school. Here's another guy. Is it a cop? I didn't catch the car. Oh wait, it's the same dude. It's the same dude. I think.
The charismatic defense attorney who claims to stand up for the little guy.
Oh, he's a defense attorney.
What a hero. Now you have a choice.
Let me guess. He's going to blow some other building in Gotham. And back to commercial breaks. Marshall says the tropes, it burns. Oh, God, everything about this show burns. Oh, man, I do wish I could eat cake. I wish I could eat cake. With the meds I'm on, I can kind of get away with eating something small that's sugary. I might go crazy after this and go out to the local convenience store and see what they have left late Sunday night. So, oh man, again, more and more commercials. I'm just not used to tons and tons of commercials like this. I'm just not used to it. I've been watching, lately, as I mentioned before. I think before you came in, Marshall, I've been watching a lot of pre-Kurtzman Star Trek. With a fairly heavy emphasis on Voyager. I have a viewer who I had to take down the video for various reasons, but I have a viewer who is really rather devastated about what happened with 7 of 9 in Picard, and I've been watching Voyager kind of with more an eye towards the character development that goes on there with her. And I can really see if somebody liked that character, how they would really object. Larry says Batwoman in comics first appeared in 1956. Yes, she did. Totally different kind of character. She was partly there because at that time they were getting a lot of flack from various places about how comic books were making kids degenerate, and Batman and Robin were gay, and so they got Batwoman and Batgirl, her kid's sidekick, to be there so that she could be constantly putting the moves on on Batman. It was like Lois Lane at that time period was constantly trying to figure out a way to get married to Superman. Same thing was going on with Batwoman. And she did have some really interesting stuff. She didn't have a utility belt. She had a utility purse. She wasn't dressed in black. She was dressed in yellow and red. Primarily her suit was yellow with some red on it. And her utility purse had things like, compacts that would grow to giant size, or, something with hair nets that she'd use to catch criminals. It was the 1950s. Marshall says, Deb makes chocolate drop cookies that are about the size of a quarter. I can eat one per day without risking death. Yeah. And that's about where I am. Yeah. I'm going to have to... I actually have to make a run to Des Moines tomorrow because I've got a psychiatrist that has to continue some of my meds. And I can't... That's a 3-hour drive. I cannot get in to see a new psychiatrist because I got my Medicare in February, but seeing an MD, and a psychiatrist as an MD, is usually a 2 to 3 month wait time. And then we got into coronavirus. And to answer your question, Larry, as long as we're in a commercial break, and it's a half-hour point, so it's likely to be a long one. To answer your question, coronavirus is very good here. I've forgotten. Let me see. I think I actually have it in a web browser somewhere. Lancaster County, where I live, which is Lincoln, which is about 355,000 people in the metro, has 126 confirmed cases and 1 death. We have not been locked down at all. What's happened is they have killed our businesses by closing them. But we, and put a lot of people out of work, and put a lot of businesses at risk of simply going under. But in reality, we haven't been locked down. We can move around freely. It's not a problem. We haven't had any real problems yet with grocery stores. I am very worried about that because I'm sort of watching in the both Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota. I'm kind of watching our agricultural industry start to fail. That has me worried quite a lot. But in terms of actual stuff that's going on with the virus, not too bad right now. Okay, back to Batwoman. Wear masks. I've seen a lot of people wearing them. Well, I'll tell you something about where I saw one at the next commercial. Let me guess. What is she doing? Yeah, you're just ripping open an abdominal wound, just bleeding a little, and judging by how... Wait. Okay, so she got the shiv by sticking it completely inside herself? What?
It's down to 22 minutes. Well, that's 22 minutes to get everyone cleared out of the area so you can push that button. You just hang tight. Detonator once is victims to hear the explosion it caused. That means a secondary explosive is likely within a 1-mile radius of Bobby Reed's. Call force on its way to Bobby. Wasted time. This guy uses half a dozen tripwires. If we want to save lives, we need to clear that mile in half hour. Bobby, you still with me? Yeah.
Okay, who's on the bike?
It's gotta be a copycat.
So Jamie didn't pick up where his old man left off?
He was at work. Alibi checks out.
Oh.
PD are clearing buildings now.
Where is it?
Why is she running around fighting crime and punching people out without her bat suit? If she can do that, then what's the point of wearing the bat suit?
Not to return under any circumstances until the threat has been neutralized. We will continue to bring you
So, they have the newscaster at the bomb site.
Officer, hit a police barricade. We will be safe.
Wait, what?
Go.
Okay, it's the illegal, unlicensed, unsanitary clinic, and the woman with the bat suit is running around with her mask off.
Couldn't exist. They're gonna detonate that bomb whether this place is clear or not.
I mean, everybody's going to assume she's Batwoman. What the hell? What? You're not leaving them, but you are running an illegal, unlicensed, unsanitary medical clinic without a license to practice medicine. Okay. Larry says, in comics, she worked with her father to fight crime. Yeah, the original Batwoman, yeah. There was money involved, and yeah.
Hey, Bobby. You're doing great.
And I've lost my voice synchronization. So weird.
We should give our guys more time to clear the area. Hey, dude. You're going to do the right thing.
You know, it seems to me that if you got this big thing going on where everybody's evacuating the building, wouldn't your bomber just say, oh, you've evacuated the building, well then, boom, and blow the thing? You know, if he finds out that you've been trying to get around it. And there she is again, running around in the bat suit. Everybody's going to think she's Batwoman. What? What? Wait, what? Why would they're in what amounts to Chicago? They don't care about earthquakes there. Why would you have earthquake-proof buildings? It just they don't care. You know. So wait, Beth's illegal, unlicensed, crappy medical clinic. Wait, what? Whoa, okay. So she was like right next door to the building. All right, whatever. You know. Let me reload this web page so that I get my synchronization with voice back. I don't know why it becomes unsynced like this. I've to be honest, I very rarely even watch stuff that on the big screen because of my back. Although I am going to a chiropractor now, and wow, are they helping out a lot. I've always had good luck with chiropractors in my back, so that's helping out quite a lot. I'm able to sit here for 2 to 3 hours and not be killing my back. But I don't usually watch it. Which website am I watching it on? It's the Spectrum website. I have Spectrum for my internet, and so TV, either whether it's in a web browser or in my phone, which is what I typically watch it on, just comes as part of the package. So, in terms of your question about wearing masks in my area, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people wearing masks, but I'm seeing them wear the wrong ones. You know, they're not wearing the ones that are rated for anything like a virus or COVID or anything like that. Funniest damn thing I saw. Went to a Walgreens, and there was a guy there, one of the clerks, and you know they've got all the social distancing stuff set up. They've got tape lines on the floor that are about 10 feet apart, and guy comes over to help me out. He wasn't wearing the mask the whole time. He came over to the register with his mask on. He comes over with this mask on, right? And it's not one that's rated correctly. I know from looking at it, it's not one. And he's a neckbeard. Okay, the beard completely makes a mask useless. Because when we breathe, you know, it's just going to come in here, and it also pushes the mask away from your face so it's not snug against it in any way. I just was like, oh, God, this is just, you know, theater, pure theater, just dumb. But we're otherwise pretty good here. Like I say, we got a lot of people out of work. They're about to reopen some things. I was listening to the governor talking about at the beginning of May, they're reopening some of the sit-down restaurants. And they're requiring the staff to have masks. That's not unusual. They're requiring so that you can't sit, next to each other in booths. You can't sit at the bar, things like that. But they're also requiring patrons to wear masks. Okay, how does that make any damn sense? You got the mask on. You can't eat through the mask, so you're going to have to pull the mask up or down in order to eat, thus negating its utility. Who thought that up? What was the brainy individual in state level of government who thought that was a good idea? Larry, masks are for show, yeah. So now they're telling everybody that they need to stay in their homes, or they're off the streets. I thought that was Kate, who was running down the hallway when the explosion happened and defying the laws of physics with her 97-pound body, not getting blown to smithereens by these guys have no conception, very few shows do, have any conception of what concussion from a blast is like, okay? Yeah, the explosion may be far enough away, but the wind gets pushed and, okay, and here's Mary's unlicensed, shabby, shady clinic where she has no license to practice medicine. And she has to go. Okay, now she's got her PTSD that isn't really like PTSD coming back. At least... At least. Okay, she knows. She's letting her know she knows. Finally, she didn't wait around for Kate to tell her. I thought that was a dumb idea. Yeah, me too. It was pretty obvious.
Of course, that was the same girl who hunted down Derek Peters and locked him in a urinal after he ditched me at homecoming. Of course, the maniac on the bat bike is the same maniac who taught me how to drive without actually having her license.
Without having her driver's license, she showed her how to drive. Well, at least we have a family history of doing things that are illegal. And Batwoman took this girl's guy who ditched her at the prom and locked him in a urinal. Okay.
It's not that simple.
For you ladies who may be having to watch, very few urinals have stalls.
I'm not here, Mary. I'm not asking you to be.
Usually, the toilets have stalls. The urinals are, side by side with no stalls.
And how are we feeling today, Johnny?
I think I had another moment of clarity, Dr. Butler.
Really?
Let me guess. They're strapping him in for the electroshock therapy that they almost never do in real life.
And what is it you're still missing? Power.
There we go. Stabbed him with the shiv. Okay. I knew it wasn't going to be long before they got out of Arkham. I just knew it. I thought maybe 2 episodes. I bet now it's only 1. Hey, Art, let me make sure I get this. Art Nemel, I think is how that's pronounced. I know you're Batwoman and you're doing a crappy job of it. Yeah, well, all she's ever done is be selfish.
Everyone with any knowledge of your father's real murder has been killed.
We think the detonator hired the sniper to kill Reggie Harris and used these bombs to cover his
He
scent.
says the detonator's dead. We're dealing with the copycat. The real detonator died 7 years ago.
Which means that we're looking for someone who's intimately familiar with the detonator's case.
For who'd have had access to the civil courts?
It's going to be one of the crows.
He was the investigating officer at the time.
Oh, it's going to be a cop, maybe.
Robles. He was a rookie cop on the detonator investigation team.
Robles is head of the Crow's homicide division.
I knew it. It's always predictable. It was a cop who's now with the crows. Yeah. So Larry says, tell someone to tell Batwoman that they wish she was Batman. Yeah.
Robles was convinced the payment wasn't out of the ordinary.
also the first to arrive at the Sip and Dash that night.
It wasn't a cop who showed up first, it was a crow.
I want every piece of shrapnel collected and tested for prints. Refine him before he strikes again.
It's nice to know, too, that Kate, she works on the cases of her friends. No, she doesn't. I wonder if maybe they've done the correct physics with him and he's fallen down the stairs and broken his neck along the way. Let me guess, this guy with the beard is the one who's responsible for the whole thing. And he's going to take Jacob Kane and wrap a bomb around him. Oh, God. Little recap, a little bit of, exposition in her head. Voiceover.
I'm not asking you to be a hero. I'm just asking you to keep going.
Come on, we all know you're going to do it. This sort of tension is just so artificial because we all know that she's going to put on the suit. It's like we got 23 episodes this season. This damn thing's been... Yeah. What a shock. Jacob Kane is strapped with explosives. Jacob Kane, City Savior. You had to see this coming, right? I sure did, yeah. Yeah, I sure did.
You think our bomb was a crow? Roe Buzz is at the scene of my dad's murder. Kate, the facts line up. Where is he? He's got me on his phone. He's crossing the 1200 block of Rucker Ave. He's headed for the bridge I got.
Now, the interesting thing they're clearly setting up here is Luke. In the comics, Luke is, Batwing, I think. And so far, he's been a complete nerd. This episode, we saw him using a punching bag, and we know he's ripped from the Crisis on Infinite Earths episode. We're setting him up to be Batwing, I'm sure of it. What?
What's going on? I just heard gunshots. My boy Brooklyn seems pretty eager to get out of town.
If he's eager to get out of town, why is he hanging around you at all? Okay, here we have a guy going about 40 miles an hour, 50, and he flies off his motorcycle, and he's fine. Of course. How much time we have left here? Oh.
Like you did Ricky Harris, or Leah Nazari, or the dozen people at Gotham International.
See, here we have again.
The truth. Did you kill Lucius Fox?
Again, we got a deal here where she is always delivering her lines with her mouth closed. Her lips barely move, but that's about it. So you can't really understand what she's saying. It's hard to see. If I didn't have the subtitles, I wouldn't know. Because all she does is talk with her mouth closed. It's just through her lips, and that's so you can't understand what she's saying. Oh, it's gonna blow up Wayne. I think that was Wayne Tower, wasn't it? I guess I can't say I'm shocked about that either. Oh, back to another commercial break. Yeah, everything is just, I don't know if it's just me, being a Fandi master and having read lots of comics or something, but everything in this show is so predictable. I just can't understand why this guy needs to skip town or something. If you see somebody with a cowl and a bad wig and a cape on a motorcycle, it's just me talking, but if I saw that on a bike and I go, oh, look, somebody with a cowl and a bad wig and a cape, I'm going to turn right. I want to get the hell out of Dodge, but I really don't want to mess with Batwoman. Yeah, Larry says ventriloquist. No kidding. She needs someone to dub her lines for her. That's what she needs. I don't know. I still have a hard time with her just because of her size. She looks better when she's got the bat suit on, and I'm sure that they've got that a little thicker for normal. But the rest of the time, they have to do Ruby Rose in extra large clothing. You always see it's very loose, and that's because the woman, she really is kind of anorexic. If you see pictures of her on the red carpet and stuff, you can see, all of the, the tendons and stuff in her neck. And, she really is kind of anorexic. And so they have to put that on her. Otherwise, if they put tighter clothing, it would completely ruin the illusion because she's really small. And the fact, too, is that the camera is apparently adding 10 pounds. That's what cameras do. J10, Tanima, okay, just assuming she is asking if they're gay or not. Yes, as we know from this show, being gay is your literal get-out-of-jail-free card. I think probably the dumbest thing this show has ever done was the episode where they had the girl who was outed against her will and was having problems socially and with her parents. And so she took it out on everybody by attempting murder of several hundred people, they said, on an elevated train, committing credit card fraud and identity theft to the tune of posting the mayor's credit card number on social media, and attempted to bomb an entire gym filled with people who were there for a high school dance. And fortunately, Batwoman was able to evacuate the gym and take care of everything else. But, the gym still exploded. So at the very least, she's got several hundred counts of attempted murder associated with several $100,000, maybe more, of property damage. But Batwoman let her go with voluntary community service. She didn't go through a judge or anything. She just said to the woman, you go over to Kate Kane at Bruce Wayne's office, and you sign up to do voluntary, some community service. What? Because she's gay. No, I'm sorry. You get to go to jail. And Batman would never said, well, it's too bad. We're sorry that happened to you, but you're mean and nasty and ugly and horrible kinds of things. You get to go to jail. Oh, we got a crossover, something going on here at some point. Looks like. Am I back to? This is a 45, so there's more to go. One of the shorter commercial breaks with about 7 or so in them, 8, I think. See, there again, I can't understand what she's saying. If it wasn't for the subtitles, I wouldn't know. Yes, he did.
But the evidence is there, even though he killed a lot of people trying to cover it up. Tuxedo 1 here. It's me. The second bomb isn't Wayne.
Tuxedo 1. Okay.
Copy that. Good luck. Second bomb's at Wayne Tower. Says who? An associate. Gotcha.
Associate. Okay. Well, too late.
There's a pressure plate on your chest. If I move it, I can.
We'll let it tick down until we clear the area.
Okay, wait a minute. He's got this bomb strapped to him. And he's a brave guy. He's a brave guy who would just let it blow, right? Okay, Jacob Kane. And he's in the Crow's headquarters. Don't you, take him somewhere else? If he blows, he's going to blow the headquarters. And here we have Luke showing up somehow. Wait, he knew he was in the Wayne Tower. What's he? Oh, fortunately, Wayne Tower has all kinds of stuff to protect it from a bomb. Unlike, of course, what they've got going on. Hey, wait a minute. This room and only this room has got a whole bunch of load-bearing stuff in it, like big towers do. You blow those, you're going to have a problem.
My dad. Money. Whose money? That rich ass had told me Elliot. Tommy Elliot on Lucius Foxdale. In a book. Some journal Lucius was writing? What journal? No idea. All I know is that Tommy was obsessed with it. After I was recruited to the Crows, I was put on Tom's personal detail. He paid me $10,000 to rough Lucius up. You shot him in the chest! By mistake. I told you.
Oh, well, that's okay. He shot him by mistake. All right.
To his kid. pulled the trigger, and then it just snowballed after that. My friend Reggie, I spent the last 4 years just covering up.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, at least they accidentally found the guy that he killed his father.
To protect Gotham. Now the whole city's in lockdown because
Not only do they have Jacob Kane, not in some place where a bomb detonating wouldn't make much difference, they've got him in like the server room. There are all these computers around him.
My mom calls him Batwoman. Wait, go ahead.
So we're going to blow up parts of Crow's headquarters along with a bunch of their IT.
Yes, I was stuck with each
Good one. Good one.
other. I need to get out of here. There's a bomb strapped behind dynamite. I need to give him a green light. Just
Here we go. Some of the PTSD that's not really like real PTSD. Like if you need to give your dad the green light, just and there comes off the. We always have to take off the mask when she wants to do real acting. So.
it won't change what happened to your dad.
Again, there she is talking through her lips. Killing you. Well, I'm going to change your dad. Call your father, you dimwit. You got like a minute and a half left. Just, hey, get a guardian. Again, she goes. Oh, no, couldn't understand her again.
What?
I didn't want to suit up because I feel like a fraud in this thing. I had every chance to stop myself, and I didn't.
So she goes weird every time she gets close to somebody,
Short on heroes.
maybe killing somebody. Okay.
Do not let your anger turn you into someone that you are not.
I think I actually understood her when she delivered that. No. She doesn't like emoting behind a mask. They never do. They never do. They'll almost always take the superhero masks off.
Grab his arms.
Yeah, there's another one I didn't understand. Grab his arms.
Julia, hit it. Do it.
Wait. No, God, no. Blew up the parking lot. The door didn't really close behind them. Again, no conception of what the blast is like. You know, the force of the air just being shoved at you can kill you. Oh, God. It's nothing different here. We're still dealing with people who do not understand the basic laws of physics or anything like that. That's not unusual, really, in superhero stuff anymore. I've gotten used to watching people, because they got CGI, they can do anything. So I've gotten used to watching superheroes, relatively human ones, having stuff happen to them that would kill an ordinary person, all the time. But so that's not very new, but it's just it's one of those things that always gets me, because like, God, do you guys not understand how explosions work? Our Tanamo, she doesn't like emoting at all. Deadpool shows more emotion with his mask on than she does. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Ruby Rose is just plain a block of wood, no matter what's happening. A block of wood who always talks just through her lips without actually moving her mouth at all. She just, you can actually see her teeth when she's talking. I can't even do it because I need to open my mouth when I talk, but it's always just through her lips. It's always just through her lips. And yeah, she's a complete block of wood. She's a complete block of wood. I keep being amazed that this show, I mean, I guess I'm watching it, so I'm part of the problem that this show keeps getting renewed, but it did get renewed for next season. I guess I'm watching it, so theoretically my part of the ratings are being pushed in. But of course, I'm watching it for a totally different reason. By the way, if you go over to Twitter anytime and look at my account, I get a huge kick out of the fact that I am setting these up. I'm very clear in my ad copy that this is something stupid. That I have these watch parties just to talk about the stupid as we go through. And if you include the hashtag Arrowverse in your tweet, it will be automatically retweeted by a DC Comics bot. I get such a kick out of every single time I post negative stuff about this show As long as I include the word Arrowverse, it'll get tweeted out to God knows who. Hasn't done a ton for my viewership. I was doing good tonight, considering I have 5 concurrent viewers and 3 likes, so yay. Thank you all for watching. But I just get a kick out of that, how you can so easily manipulate that thing. So, are they going to do a Justice League thing here at some point in the near future with the Arrowverse? I haven't been paying attention. I might watch it if that happened, just because they wouldn't to get too much into the character development.
Have you done this without you more?
Glad to officially be back, sir.
Ah, okay.
Aside, this is the start of a major overhaul.
So Sophie gets to be...
Everyone at your partner Harrison's frame job to avoid the death penalty.
Sophie is officially reinstated. Okay.
In place and you are co-heading it.
Yeah, Larry says she thinks she's emoting. Yeah, that's exactly right.
My agency. Currently I've been recruited to run a crow strike team.
Co-run, technically.
So now the British girl is going to be around for good, setting up some kind of weird love triangle between Sophie, she, and Kate.
Good ones. Not the garbage you've been bringing to the motel all week.
Go on then, twist my arm. You're buying.
Company card. You'll get yours at orientation.
Well, at least we're about to be done. Bat by popular demand on the Gazette.
Bomb squad just left. They're gonna have some follow-up questions.
I don't understand why this city gives a crap about her. She's been nothing but just totally selfish and self-centered about everything she does. We've only very rarely seen her do anything. I mean, you know, the thing about Batman was he would, like you saw in the Tim Burton Batman movie, he didn't start out fighting supervillains. He would just drop out of the night sky, grab muggers, and haul them up to the top of a building and threaten them, you know. Oh, Larry says J.J. Abrams is going to kill the DC Universe at WB. Well, you know, I don't think he can do any worse than they've already done. Yeah, he's going to ruin it, but it's already pretty ruined. They have screwed it up so bad. I keep telling you guys at DC, I could run this crap for you. I have a plan. I've talked about it in a video. Call me. Because I've got one that'll work.
Yes, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I broke Batman's code.
You think you're the only one? Ever wonder why the Joker hasn't reared his head in 5 years? He's not in Arkham, Kate.
Okay.
And Bruce stared into the abyss.
Now we know why Bruce is gone. He killed the Joker. All right.
Question is, how long are you gonna let stare back at you?
And there's old block of wood.
That you've seen this? You look good.
Oh, God. And they've got pictures of Batwoman.
Mary, Kate's not Batwoman. That would be a major time suck from real estate development, her actual job.
It's fine, she knows.
It's fine, she knows. Fine, she knows.
She knows what?
It's fine, she knows.
We don't have to play this little game anymore.
What game? So you know what, Kate, you have a
See,
showing.
this is another thing that's just totally predictable about these CW shows. You always know that they're going to get a team. They're going to get their own little group. And it was only a matter of time before Mary did this. And so now Mary's going to be the medical side. Luke's going to be the brains of the outfit. And Kate's going to go around talking about how bad guys are and how, you know, how she's really, really gay. So, all right, Tanamo, no. This show retroactively killed the Joker off screen. Not happy. Apparently so. Yeah, apparently so. I mean, they weren't going to really get too much involved with... wait, hold on.
What do you say we hit up the ice cream cart?
Oh. She killed Butler, cut off his face, and now Mouse is the doctor at Arkham. Only a matter of time.
Why be rats on the streets of Gotham?
So isn't anybody... I guess he's going to take off his face from time to time and be Mouse, but keep it on from...
And when everyone has forgotten us.
Okay, I said my parents were psychologists.
And they will never.
They had actual jobs that required actual expertise that I guarantee Mouse does not have. What's he going to do here? If he's a psychiatrist, He will not have the slightest clue what meds to prescribe. If he's a psychologist, because they're two different things, he's not going to have the slightest clue how to do any kind of therapy. There's so much stupid in this show. There's so much stupid. And the end of Batwoman. Let's see if we got a trailer for next time. Next Sunday.
We're going clubbing.
What? Kate's going clubbing. We're going to see a lot of sucking face.
That was awesome. Batwoman.
Because as Batwoman says over and over, I'm really, really gay.
This is Melissa.
Yeah, and get Dr. Bob Hartley in Chicago. Well, they do shoot part of the stuff on location in Chicago. I will be very interested to see if they ever have snow there. Because, of course, this is, well, it's shot up in Toronto. They could conceivably figure out how snow works. People from California don't usually get how snow and cold works. In the Midwest, like Chicago, I lived there for 10 years, you sometimes get, about every 10 years, you will get a horrific blizzard. I mean just a horrific one. One that shuts down, some of the freeways. The first one I was in, I was on Lakeshore Drive, which is basically a freeway that runs north to south along the edge of the lake, and it just got totally shut down. And so I had to drive my car off, find a place on the street to park, which is really hard there. There's almost never any open spots. So I found a spot, and I was with my ex at the time we were dating, and we got to an elevated train that took me to where I lived. And the next day or the day after, had to go dig my car out of the snow. And it's cold. It's really, really cold. 10 below. Not unusual. Worse with the wind chill. So people in Hollywood almost never get that. They show people, a perfect example, Man of Steel. They've got Lois Lane running around in the Arctic, and she's got a parka, good for that. But you don't run around up there without every single part of your, body completely covered with something, because otherwise you're going to get frostbite very, very quickly. They just don't understand how cold works, in Southern California. Okay, so now we're into Supergirl, and I'm not even touching Supergirl with a 10-meter cattle prod because I've not seen enough of it lately to know if it's any good or not. It's been a while. The only time I saw Supergirl really was during Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that was about the last time I've seen her for a while. It's always the actress that plays her is a very attractive woman. But she can actually, of course, pull off being a super strong super person, even though she's not that big of a woman, but big enough so that her stunt double looks enough like her. And in 1080p, that's kind of hard to do. So, okay, I think that's all of the stupid for tonight. So, one last thing I do want to point out, because not only is Batwoman the modern-day Plan 9 from outer space, the production, as I've said in another video, is so utterly incompetent that not only did it send Ruby Rose to the hospital for surgery, emergency surgery, to avoid being paralyzed, they were so incompetent that they actually got production assistant Amanda Smith actually paralyzed. I discussed this in another video called Batwoman Production Assistant Paralyzed, Fans to the Rescue. You can see that below and get all of the gory details about how just incompetent they were to get this woman sent to the hospital and now paralyzed. But I'd ask my reviewers to please donate to her GoFundMe, the Amanda Smith Rehabilitation Fund. There is a link to it below. It's been scrolling past on my lower third from time to time. www.gofundme.com/F/Amanda-Smith-Rehabilitation-Fund. So, I guess that is all that I have to say about that. Thanks for watching this stupid program with me. It's impossible for me to review because it's so damn dumb. If you go to watch other people, and certainly feel free, there's other people on here who are reviewers. Essentially, all they do is walk through all the stupid. I have a couple of reviewers that I tend to watch on these, and when I was reviewing, what would happen was I would find some stupid that they missed. They would find stupid that I missed. You know, you can just mash all of them together and get a good idea of how dumb it is. And there, I watch a couple of reactors. There's one, Jay Longbone, and she's great. She's great. Reactors are sort of one of my guilty pleasures, and she's great with this. Larry says, first Supergirl episode had her rescuing a jet in flight just like Chris Reeve did in Superman 1978. I'm sure that was no accident. Now cake. Maybe. Not here on screen, but I may slip down to my local convenience store and see if they've got something small with sugar in it that I can tolerate, because in the immortal words of Wilford Brimley, I got the diabetes. So, again, please donate to the Amanda Smith Rehabilitation Fund. As far as I know, the production company that crippled her is still not paying her bills, and she needs a lot of help. She needs to pay her bills. She needs to pay for her rehabilitation if she's ever going to get better, which at this point nobody knows. Nobody has a clue. Artemama, she always does point out good things too. Yeah, Jay Longbone's good. And she'll point out if something's good. Most of the time, it's just stupid because the show's stupid. In any case, I would certainly love to keep the conversation going for people that are watching this on demand. So please leave your comments, questions, and nasty remarks. I'll do my best to get back to you. The Mugatu is not abused again. Well, sorry. Just laugh at the show. So, again, thanks for watching, and please do donate to the Amanda Smith Rehabilitation Fund, a link in my description box below. So as long as this show keeps going, please come back on the same bat time and the same bat channel for another episode of Tales from SYL Ranch, where everyone is entitled to my opinion. And I'm Bill Stone.
Ultimate power in this world has always been one simple thing: the control and manipulation of minds.